Alright, and we're back. At some point I had a connection issue, so a few lines of dialogue have been missed, but nothing crazy. Just meeting the storyteller, asking him who he is. He is not a bard, but is only known as the storyteller in every place he goes, and is an unusually old-seeming elf, where normally elves don't seem to age at all. So, very strange. Uh, the old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. Thanks for my rescue. I, of course, will render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, at this moment I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you he won't change his mind. Typical. You do someone a good turn and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Alright, well, Jeff, he's trying to not get killed, to be fair. It is pretty dangerous out here. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. We can't not help him. If it was up to me, Grandfather Elf, I'd throw you over my shoulder and carry you out of here. This is no place for old folks. I think I've seen the whole place, so yeah, I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. Storyteller lowers his voice slightly. Please, wait. I am not the only one thankful to you. That young crusader over there is eager to give his regards, but he is too shy to approach you. I can tell from his quickened breathing. Take pity on the lad and accept his thanks. The young man with aristocratic features wipes the sweat from his brow and gives you a courteous bow. Allow me to introduce myself. Brother Clam, at your service. Thank you for helping us. We thought we were doomed to perish. Stone statue in the library suddenly turned into a living griffin. What happened? Statue was carved in old Sarkoris long before the demonic invasion. Everyone marveled at the beauty of its fine stonework. Each feather was practically lifelike. They would say the griffin looked like it was about to spread its wings and take flight. No one thought it would actually happen, of course. Believe me, I am just as surprised as you are. Having said that, I do have an inkling of an idea. There was a legend in Sarkoris that mentioned an ancient chieftain who could turn into a beast and who vanquished countless enemies. But one day he just vanished. He claimed he was sleeping somewhere, but would wake up one day to save Sarkoris from a terrible fate. Well, Sarkoris has already kind of had that happen, but everybody thought it was just a tall tale. Obviously, no shape-shifting chieftain showed up to stop the demonic horde. Perhaps the statue was the very same person slumbering in stone, waking up only now that a demon lord has come real close. Now, don't take my word for it, it's just a guess. I hope we get a chance to take a closer look at this griffin. Okay, I think I know what DLC this is from. Who are you, anyway? We're the Crusaders of the Order of the Flaming Lance. Our order dedicates itself to the pursuit of hidden knowledge and magical methods of fighting the demons. We are searching for our leader, Sister Miyamir, the Scholar. She spent the last few weeks here, working day and night on some important research. When the demons attacked the city, we rushed here to find her, but it seems she left the city shortly before the attack began. Miyamir. I don't recall the name, which means her scholarly contribution cannot have been significant, and yet her actions do intrigue me. If the opportunity arises, I would like to find out what experiment she carried out. Mimir just left the city, leaving no word of where she could be found? None. She left in a hurry without leaving any notes or orders. Why? I have no idea. The only thing that may serve as a clue is this book, the one she was studying. The knight holds out a leather-bound tome to you. Company of worn-out words. Let's go. Mimir's handwriting a note says, Tree Runes? Stone Book of the Druids of Old Sarkoris here. Mayor Mir's note mentions something about a stone book belonging to the Druids of Old Sarkoris. What does that mean? Stone books. The Druids of Old Sarkoris used sacred trees as books. They carved their secret knowledge on the bark. When the demons came, the druids resorted to a dark ritual that turned the trees to stone, and the druids themselves into undead, doomed to guard their stone library grove forever. But that happened far from here in the Stone Wilds. Is it possible that's where Mir went? Or maybe she found one of the trees somewhere nearby? I don't know. How did you end up in this trap? That traitor met us at the door. He seemed a faithful and passionate crusader, and we didn't suspect a thing until they attacked us from behind and knocked us out. We didn't expect such trickery. Most of our order brethren are dead, and we were desperate to believe that this man in armor was a fellow crusader, a comrade. Well, I guess he was pretty recently. While we were unconscious, they removed our armor and tossed us on the pyre of books. What macabre blasphemy. Ain't it always that way? Start to think you might be able to trust a fella, and boom, he goes and stabs you in the back. Haven't you done that to like a lot of people, Wolchif? If you never trust anyone, then soon you'll become a killer just like Hulrun. That's hardly better, isn't it? Pah, don't start on that now. Fine, fine, you convince me, you can trust people. But only one in every dozen, I'd say. And not for long, even then. Alright, go to the Defender's Heart. Those who are ready to fight back are gathering there. The city still fights? Wow, that's incredible news. We'll go to our sanctuary guarded by the Order brothers and sisters. We will bring them to the Defender's Heart. And that dialogue. And the Knights of the Flaming Lance have joined the Crusaders. Excellent. Alright, well, out of dialogue, it's a chance to take a last glance around the library. And there is actually a book I missed. And it is one I can learn from. Oh, you know what? I think the things that show up from books are actually in abilities somewhere. Yeah, here we go. +1 morale bonus AC against dragons. +1 competence bonus to attacks and damage on all natural attacks. Does it apply to everyone or just the main character? Just the main character, I guess. +1 competence bonus on saving throws against swarms, and +1 shield bonus to AC against demons. Well, that one's pretty fantastic, actually. There are a lot of demons in the game. Then again, I was planning on respecking, and I'll know the shield spell, but yeah, it's still nice. I need to see if it applies to just whichever character is selected at the time. Then again, it would be a lot of work to like look up what all of these are beforehand and pick the optimal character for each one. It's probably not worth it, but they are kind of cool either way. Actually, I'm curious. Can I, if there's... Okay, so selecting another character doesn't let them just also learn from it. That would be kind of nice, though. The old elf frowns as if he's listening closely to something, then decisively turns his face to you. Minerva, is it not? I recognize you from the sound of your footsteps. I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again. And, if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. Yeah, let's go. Alright. The Defender's Heart greets you with unexpected liveliness. Beyond the walls of the tavern, the once bustling and festive city lies in ruins. But somehow none of that can be felt within these walls. People in the room are talking, laughing, raising toasts, and even softly singing. It doesn't look like typical tavern revelry, but nor is it the grim vigilance of recent days. Sela waves to you. She is sitting at a table with the trio you met previously. The knight, the half-elf, and the red-headed halfling. Minerva, come! Let me properly introduce you to Aelon, Janna, and Curl, the fearless warriors of the League of the Inspiring Cart. Janna pushes a mug of beer toward you and speaks softly. It was me who convinced Beth to use what Janna, Curl, and Aelon found for a little party. If you look out the window, you might think the end times have come and the abyss has devoured us all. I thought some simple pleasures, good food and good company, could help keep the gloom at bay. Sela looks at you hesitantly, as if trying to gauge your reaction. I understand. We need to continue living and fighting, however hard that might be, even amidst the chaos that has befallen the city. Allow me to declare my support for Sela's decision as well. Experience tells me that we should shed no tears until after our victory. If we start to mourn the fallen while the battle is still raging, we'll be jeopardizing all our efforts. Now is the time for rest. We'll bury the dead after the last demon has been driven from Canabras. Hey, are we just going to sit here with grim faces? I say we get to know each other a little better, so we have better reasons to toast. Alright, start at the top. Tell me about you and your order, Elon. As stories go, it's not very entertaining. I was born far to the south in Andoran. I lost my parents early, led the life of a simple mercenary, but often questioned the path I had chosen. I'm proud of my sword skills, I enjoy training in drills, and I'm not afraid of battle. Risking my life for coin? It takes a special mindset to choose that lot with no regrets. You have to want to risk your blood. I saw too many of my friends die, and I wondered if it was worth it. So in the end, I decided to choose another path. Now, if I'm going to lay down my life, at least it will be for a good cause. That's how I ended up in Mendev and became a squire for the Houndhearts. It's a small order. By tradition, it never has more than 12 members, and a new member is only knighted after one of the elders dies. We patrol the lands along the Wardstone line and provide aid to travelers and settlers. Unfortunately, death is common among the Houndhearts. I became a full knight 2 years ago, after laying my mentor to rest. But I'm content with my choice. My place is among the Crusaders. Have you been serving in the Eagle Watch for long, Jenna? I signed up 4 days before the demon attack. Am I lucky or what? Jenna lets out an overly boisterous laugh. I see you too deal with terrible situations with humor. I'm an apprentice of a famous fencing master from Mavon, and I learned a thing or two from him, believe me. I soon got bored of fighting off bandits and getting involved in the petty squabbles of the bickering river kingdoms. I wanted a proper challenge, and you can't find a better place than Mendev. And what do you know? The moment I arrived, the demonic invasion began. My father would say that's no accident. Fate brought me here. What about you, Carl? How did you end up among the condemned? I just did what everyone else was doing. I grew up in the slums where everyone stole a little, or maybe smuggled or guarded stashes, so... Stares into his mug gloomily. But I never killed anybody, and I never did anything really bad. I got caught stealing, and when they made me choose between prison and the condemned, well, of course I didn't want to go to prison. I'm not that good a fighter, but as Norgorber is my witness, a thief can also be useful in a war against demons. I've always been a good scout. I could sneak under the nose of any monster. I don't know where my friends are now. We got separated when the demons rampaged through the city. Chin up, friend. Whoever you were in the past, you're our friend now, and a crusader. Your skills will be useful to us, you'll see. How'd all of you know Sela? I met my noble sister on the road to Canabras. I was returning from the south for my fiancé, and was happy to be in the company of a paladin of Iomade. We said our farewells at the city gates, and I went north, along the road to Dresden, to my order's camp. Elon's face grows grim at the mention of the camp. Demons attacked us there at the same time they struck Canabras, but we managed to fight them off. We hurried to the city's aid and joined forces with the Eagle Watch. All my fellow Houndhearts were wounded during the battle on the streets. I am the last knight of my order who can still fight. So good to see Sela again. Every loyal heart counts these days. I met Sela in a tavern in Canabras. Before the attack, of course. She was one of the few who would sit at a table with the condemned. Knights usually don't even look at us, but Sela is different. I knew it the moment I saw her. That's what made me notice Sela, too. So I sat down to talk to her. I never understood why everyone treated the condemned so horribly, and I still don't. Our Carl is a great lad. So after that night, Sela and I went round the taverns together every day. Mendev is an amazing place. People from all over the world come here, for glory, redemption, or to help those in trouble. And they always find each other. This might be the best place in the world to find like-minded people and friends. That was a toast, in case you didn't notice. Sela, did you call me over just because, or is something the matter? I didn't want to just talk about today's celebration. You see, Alon is in trouble. I want to help him, and I don't know anyone else in the city I can turn to. His fellow knights were all wounded in battle. Ellen shakes his head. Bad idea, sister, I told you. I don't want to bother anyone else with my problems. I need to handle them on my own. Oh, come on. Hiding your sadness from your friends is no way to live. Curl is right. Minerva helped me find you. Without her help, I'd still be looking for you all over Canabras. So, Alon, come on, stop being so stubborn. Tell me more. The young knight shakes his head. In all truth, I do not wish to impose. My problems are just minor troubles. The paladin of Iombade and her friends certainly have more important things to do, especially now that Canabras has been overrun with demons. If I've learned anything in life, it's that there's nothing minor about good and evil. Sela begins seriously, but then a smile lights up her face. Take the three of you, for example. It seems like all you did was save one cart from some lesser demons. But look how many people are happy now. That feat will never be sung up in songs, but who knows? Maybe thanks to this one joyous hour of peace and quiet, the defenders of Canabras will find the strength to protect the city. Yeah, I talk too much, don't I? Well, Sir Alon, I want to help you, and my reputation as a holy warrior of Iombade won't suffer if it's more of a minor adventure than a glorious feat. Alright, I'll explain. The life of a crusader has given me more than just a purpose and a chance to serve a righteous cause. When I abandoned the life of a mercenary and came to Mendev, I gained something else I never expected. It's here that I met. May all the ladies here forgive me. The finest girl in all the world. It's a miracle she found any love in her own heart for a bungler like me. But I'm not about to let this miracle go. Not even the demon lord Discari and all his demon army can stand in my way. Luckily, my beloved is now safely away from Canabras. For half a year, I've been getting up my courage to propose to her. I even ordered a ring from Derek Sunhammer, the best jeweler in Mendev. Independent knightly orders live mostly off donations, and I'm not what you would call rich, but I so want to make Kiana happy. Oh, it took me 3 months to find a jewel the same shade as her eyes, and twice that long to scrape together enough money. Master Derek's work was worth it, but I lost the ring during the demon attack, and I'll probably never find a worthy replacement. The ring is most likely still at the Houndheart's camp outside the city. Aelon and his friends didn't have time to pack up their camp. First the demons ambushed them, and then they rushed off to help Canabras. I think we should at least go there and check. Not right now, of course, but once the situation in the city is under control. What could we run into at this camp? My friends and I killed 2 large demons attacking the camp, then rode straight to the city without spending any more time cleaning up the rest of their band. It was only a few imps, but they might still be at the camp. Of course, that was a while ago. Our camp was attacked at the same time as the wardstone in the main square, and I haven't been back there since. Fine, I will help. Thanks for agreeing to help. Aelon is a good man and a true knight, and I think the world should repay those who are so devoted to doing good. Let's help him, so he can propose to his beloved the way he wanted. Houndheart campsite has been revealed. Sela, I hope you can convince Yerbeth to let me go with you when you do this. I don't want to be parted from my friends. Of course, if the League of the Inspiring Card has come together in this dark hour, we must continue onward together. Good. Even though I just saved. Blind Elf looks better than he did at your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some color. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my savior? I recognize your footsteps. Determined footsteps befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please, accept this humble gift as a token of my appreciation. The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it. take a look at that once I can access my inventory. Erebeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Canabras that the local wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I have examined many wardstones, but only in the one guarding Canabras did I sense a flaw, a spot of corruption inside, a vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it will be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed. Do you wield some special magic power? Some instinct? Yes, to a certain extent, but it is more of a gift. I can see the past, stories that have happened. I touch an object, and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind. Their emotions, passions, and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories happen to me. This is my power. I've been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day I will gather them all. What blight is concealed on the wordstone? I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the wardstone was created, and it is hidden from me. I can only guess. Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? A dreadful morning remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Minago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers, and started to do what demons do best, kill and desecrate. They say they covered the wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Iomade herself? The locals think this is impossible, but who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here, even the terrifying Baelor Karamzadeh. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Skari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Canabras. And when the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the world wound. Why did you travel to the wardstones? I tried to see their stories. The visions I had when I touched the wardstones were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began. Who are you and why did they let you examine the wordstone? The elf smiles faintly. I am the storyteller. Just an old elf, and a bit more. I am old even for an elf. I've seen many things and have been to many places. Not so long ago, I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the Stolen Lands, led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader. This is not uncommon for me. Some seek my advice or services, and I don't refuse. This is how I acquired my reputation as an old vagrant who's never hurt anyone, stayed out of other squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I had a few friends in Erosian who vouched for my integrity. This is why my humble request to be allowed to see the wardstones is granted. I visited all of them, but only found cause for alarm in Canabras. I have heard you, storyteller. In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the wardstone. As far as I know, there is nothing like it in Canabras. The demons might have something. I heard the dying roar of Terendelev, the Silver Dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you to go to where Terendelev perished and search there for something. I am sorry I can't be more specific, but intuition and a strange sense of rightness will tell me to point you there. Let's present that purple stone knife I found there. I found it in the square where Terendelev perished. What do you make of it? The storyteller reaches out and says softly, "Even from here I can feel strange energies emanating from this object. If you don't mind, I will examine it, using my method. I will try to see the past of its owner, their emotions and shreds of their memories. Maybe it'll help us better understand what we are dealing with." The storyteller touches the knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry and masterful grip. His face contorts into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy. "Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair, to my mother's feasting hall. Her swollen body, overfilled with food, is so huge that I have to look at it with all my eyes at once. On top is her scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food." You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with a wave of visions that repeat the words of the old elf. "Mother greets me with a placid screech. Stupid, greedy wretch whose only achievement is my birth. A creeping, wingless creature. It's your fault I have no wings, a symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark, buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters and the bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head, and tear it off along with the shreds of meat. Victory! I am the strongest. I am the son of my winged father. The elf grimaces with distaste. His voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me. Did this knife belong to a demon? Oh, I need a moment. And some water. The storyteller opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as it grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nestling in it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly. Corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless. But it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with the knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your ears. Light, white light everywhere. The stone knife falls from the old elf's hand. Out of breath, he drops to his knees. He is trembling, the terror on his face so unlike his usual dignified manner. What was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen. Or rather, might happen. One of the roads to the future, and one of the possible futures. This item will help you cleanse the wardstone, or to destroy it. You feel a longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that has opened up in it. It is hard to resist this feeling, but at the last moment your self-preservation instinct takes over, and you manage to keep control of your own hands. The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything like this happened to me. But how? I am not an oracle or a prophet. Or is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen. I don't know why this is happening now, but there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. Great changes. I shared your vision, and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies in it that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us, something we don't yet understand. Is what you saw destined to happen? No, the future is not set. It used to be, a long time ago when the god Eridan guarded Galarian. But not now. Prophecies do not come true. Or they do, but not the way they were supposed to. I only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it. But the choice has not been made, and our destinies are not set in stone. This is why the current age in the Pathfinder setting is called the Age of Lost Omens. Who were you in your vision? I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt that what I was doing had to be done. Your powers are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you. The thing that has just happened. It disturbs me. The gift has never quite manifested like this. Something has changed, and these changes frighten me. Can I help you? Storyteller nods gratefully. I appreciate your offer. I have reason to believe that somewhere in Canabris there is a manuscript offered by an elf from Keonan who witnessed Earthfall. Storyteller's voice suddenly breaks, and he stops for a moment. For personal reasons, I would like to examine it. But no matter how hard I try, I have failed to find it. Even in the Blackwing Library, I only found a mention that the manuscript exists and is held somewhere in the city. For those who don't know, Earthfall is the name given to the cataclysmic event in which a shower of meteorites impacted Galarian in minus 5293. It resulted in the destruction of the human empires of Thassalon and Aslant, which were consumed by earthquakes and massive tidal waves, and the creation of the Inner Sea. The cloud of dust thrown up by Earthfall's impact settled in Galarian's upper atmosphere and blotted out the sun for 1,000 years, creating the Age of Darkness. I assume it's stored in the Grey Garrison. They wouldn't let me into the archive when I visited. All those crusaders were nervous about the strange blind elf interested in their secrets. It's understandable. The crusade naturally made them a little paranoid. Now the Grey Garrison has fallen into the enemy's hands. I would be grateful if I could see the manuscript. Sure. I have a few questions about our encounter in the Blackwing Library. Of course, I make no secret of why I came to the library. I was looking for something. Well, I read this a little bit out of order. Did you find what you were looking for? Alas, no. But I found proof that the book I'm looking for is in Canopus. Or at least part of it is. I see. Please, examine the items I'm carrying. Perhaps one of them could tell us a story. Storyteller nods politely. Let me touch them, and I'll tell you what I can see. The old elf carefully takes Yanael's sword, Radiance. Powerful forces lie dormant in this sword. It used to belong to an incredibly bright and daring soul. Storyteller's hand runs carefully over the scale that still has not lost its shine. Proud Tyrendelev, protector of Canabris, you devoted your life to serving people. Your death is a great loss, but maybe I will be able to find out something about you that is unknown to your many admirers. Storyteller's hand touches Finian. What a peculiar weapon. I sense intelligence in it, but it seems dented. Grandpa Elf, watch where you're poking your fingers. It tickles. Storyteller fiddles with a fragment of a gold buckle. An old thing, created long ago by divine will, but the power that gave birth to it is lost in the darkness. However, the relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know it? Bring me 5 vials of magic essence, and I will revive this object, and with it, its story. Shall we? Let's see, I'll present the stone knife and see if there's actually new stuff about it. I don't remember. No, it's the same one. Present Radiance. What do you see in its past? Storyteller touches the blade with his finger. Sadness rings in his voice. Dresden is doomed. Demons attacked right when we lost the protection of the Sword of Valor. My city, my bastion of hope. We built you as a symbol that the lands mutilated by the Abyss could still be restored to mortals. Now you are perishing, and there is nothing I can do. We retreat. No, we flee. A frightened crowd rushes out into the night and through the southern gate. They are chased by the angry howls of demons killing the last defenders of the citadel. My heart goes out to them, but I'm standing still on the wall. I am covering the retreat. Demons do not attack. They seethe around you, fall from the sky, strike from all sides at once. They can't be stopped, but they can be distracted. I run to the upper floor of the gate tower. Radiance glows with a golden light in my hands. I permit myself to close my eyes for just one heartbeat. I imagine that the soft glimmering of the sword I see through my closed eyelids is the light of the summer sun. I smile. I open my eyes and call out, "Hey, Daskari's spawn! Who wants the best trophy of the night? You know my name, Yaniel. You know how many of you I have killed with this very hand. You want to curry favor with Darazan, Minago, or the echo of your lord? Bring them my head, if you can." Roaring and screaming, they rush toward me in a wave of deformed bodies and unfurled wings. The wave crashes against me, spattering my armor with bloody froth. Broken wings and chopped up bodies plummet to the foot of the tower. In the heat of battle, I see Joren's pale face down there. He looks up at me in desperation, but he can't help. He's carrying 2 wounded on his shoulders. My city will fall, but my friends will survive. This is what I am fighting for. I am covering the retreat. The flow of fleeing people gradually dwindles. My armor is broken in many places, and I cannot heal my wounds anymore. The last demon I stabbed with radiance suddenly recoils, tearing the handle out of my blood-slickened hand. He flies up, but falls somewhere far behind the walls, by the road being taken by those fleeing. No more golden glow in my hands. The night closes in on me, filled with shrieking, mocking demon laughter. Dresden, I am dying with you. Light of the sword, righteous Iomade, accept my soul. The storyteller runs his hand along the blade with a sad smile. I know whose memory this is. I've heard about her so many times. Yanael was a true crusader. Touching her memories is so cleansing. Do you see a future of this sword? Just one of the numerous possibilities. Blind Elf touches the sword hilt, and metal rings in his voice. I slide out of the sheath swiftly. I proudly watch the army of warriors led by my lady. I sing, slashing the air, putting courage in their hearts. I am radiance. Tremble, city of Dresden. My lady Yaniel has perished, but I am not done yet. Charge! The storyteller returns the sword to you. It is nice to know that this sword's glory days are not over. It has many battles ahead. Take care of it. It is a glorious sword. Tell me about Terendelev. Show him the scale. Storyteller takes a deep breath and smiles. I need water. I am flying. I can finally spread my wings. I am gliding over a broad river. The sunset has turned its surface smooth like a mirror, and I see my reflection. It is as if another silver dragon is rising to meet me from the depths. But what is it? The scales on my chest are black, and the darkness is spreading over my body. I wake up. The clear sky sways above me, blazing with heat. I am in human form. The red dust of the wound clings to my cracked lips. Someone is carrying me on a stretcher made of shields and spears. I am so weak I can barely lift my hand to my face. The sight of my own hand terrifies me. It is black and the skin glistens like scales melted by fire. I probably ought to cry, but I only feel hatred and nausea. All these people around me. Out of sympathy for them did I choose to leave the mountains. I gave up my flights over rivers. I went to the demon's lair. They don't have a scratch on them, but I am infected with foulness. It's not fair. My life is more precious than their pathetic existence. Oh, how I hate them in this moment. And then I suddenly feel shame. No, no, these are not my thoughts. The Crusaders carrying me are my good friends. I am glad they did not suffer, but I hate them and myself so much. Pain and hatred pierce me out all at once. It's all because of them. All because of them. Someone walking beside me touches me, talks to me. The only thing I hear is, "Your mentor. He will come. He will help." And I lose consciousness. The storyteller takes a deep breath, exiting the vision. Such hatred from Terendelev? Wasn't she on our side? Tarendalev has come a long way. Her demon was ambushed by the demons once, and she was infected with foulness. The Tarendalev you met in Canabras had gone through many trials and regained her former purity. What happened next? Storyteller puts his hand to his forehead. Sometimes the past can be as vague as the future. We all know how Tarendalev's story ended. The beginning is hidden from us. Maybe if you find something else that used to belong to her, we will know more about her struggle. However, no matter what we learn, remember, her soul, the soul of a true dragon, overcame every obstacle, endured every torment. She was able to purify herself, for dragons are truly powerful, not only in body, but in spirit too. Show, Finian. Tell me what you see. Hello, Grandpa Elf. Storyteller carefully takes Finian from your hands. Hello, Finian. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. His face contorts in a painful grimace. I'm coming to again. How long have I been here? They kept me in a cage for 3 days. I know this because 3 times the light under the door has disappeared for a long time. Then they chained me to the table and the bladesmith, everyone calls him the bladesmith, he placed a device with a jar over me. It feels like I'm being fried. At first I tried to break free, but I got tired. Then I screamed, but now I've lost my voice. Though the pain is burning right through me. Storyteller stops, his voice changes, becoming more frightened. I think I lost consciousness again. But when I woke up, the pain was gone. And I wasn't tied to the table anymore. I was standing near it. Someone else was lying on the table. A burned corpse covered with a black crust. The master took out a handsaw and was sawing off his head in a very focused way. I should have run back then, but I couldn't for some reason. This burned corpse had a symbol on his belt, just like I do. An eye and a star, my favorite belt, a good one. Where would a stranger get one? Must have been someone from my clan, some distant family member. The storyteller stops. When he speaks again, you hear only a muffled whisper. Those crusaders, I was glad when I saw them. I thought they'd come to help, but how? How was it that I killed them all? Someone told me to, and I obeyed. I don't understand. I understand nothing now. I need to catch my breath. I need all this to stop, even just for a minute. I just have to understand what's happening to me. Just need to rest. The storyteller shakes his head, slowly coming to his senses. That is Finian's past, but what awaits him in the future? Dead have no future, but I see an endless ocean on a good day and a boat, flying over the waves. I am so excited, but I don't know whose vision this is. Is this a soul existing here and now, or a soul reborn? Thank you for your story. Storyteller gives Finian back to you. Please, take care of this young lad. He's finally in the right hands. Do not worsen his suffering by involving him in dishonorable deeds. Come on, Grandpa Elf, I can take care of myself. I'm not a kid. I don't know what horrors you were talking about, but don't you worry about it, alright? Look after yourself. Let's have him check out the broken buckle and necessary materials. Store this relic for me. Do I actually have the necessary materials already? Oh, I don't. Okay, it's... I think the text might be red. It's actually hard for me to tell. Alright, well, in that case we have more important things to do. To know more about you. I am not surprised. A strange, peculiar-looking elf with unusual powers comes from afar and calls himself a collector of stories. Such things usually spark some interest. I will answer your questions. Who are you and where do you come from? Before, I would have said that I was a blacksmith from Kyonin who lost his sight and then found his true calling in a new craft, that of a story collector. But I have lately come to suspect that those words are no more than a lie. It's quite the irony, but I never thought I'd have cause to complain about my memory. It holds the stories of the entire world, but I've noticed more and more alarming signs recently. I encounter ancient stories and see myself in them. I don't remember those events, but stories cannot lie. So it means that my memory is lying, and I intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm looking for proof that my visions are true, and for the reason why my past has been hidden from me. You look ancient. I thought elves didn't get old. The blind man straightens his bony back with dignity. As you can see, we do if we manage to live for many thousands of years. There may not be a single mortal in this world older than me. Anyway, it's not about time. It's about the stories I keep inside. There is so much suffering and sadness in this world, and in my stories too. I've lived every one of them. I've drunk this bitter experience and accepted it in my heart. It's hard, the weight of all this suffering on my shoulders, but I wouldn't trade my burden for any other. Where do you get your strange powers? I've always got along well with things. Used to be a blacksmith. That I know for sure. Well, apparently not. I've always felt the essence of things, their spirit, for as long as I can remember. I have always been able to feel the traces of memories and feelings left on things by their former owners. I don't know where this gift comes from. Maybe, having taken my sight, the gods granted me another sense. Why did you come to the world? Searching for the truth about my real past has brought me here. I saw myself in others' stories. In them I was called the Elf in the Tower. Now I am looking for this tower. My tower, everywhere. I've been to many places. I've visited islands and deserts, but I haven't found it. There are very few uncharted territories on my map. The World Wound is one of them. Well, the area used to be charted, but then it changed. How do you collect stories? The same way a court philanderer collects his conquests. The way a healer has a personal cemetery of patients he failed to save. The way every person, including you, has a box of secret, most precious experiences deep down in their soul that no one is allowed to touch. The world is not made of things or matter even. It's made of stories. They move from the past to the future, piercing our world at the point of here and now. They give meaning to everything. They are the meaning. And everything else is only the setting required for the stories to exist. There is nothing more real and alive than a story, and anything real and alive can die or be destroyed, distorted, forgotten. But as long as I carry these stories with me, they will not be lost. This is why I don't often share my stories. By sharing one with you, I give you the right to tell it to others, to distort and embellish it advertently or inadvertently. How can I be sure you will keep its original purity? Stories travel from one person to another. They change, become distorted, turn into tall tales. This is why I keep my stories to myself. I have no more questions. That's what you think. In fact, the world is full of amazing things, and you still have a lot of questions. They just haven't bubbled up to the surface of your consciousness yet. Well, I do have to go for now. I wish you interesting adventures. Let's see. When I looked up the stuff about the griffin earlier, I found that there is a bug. And I should leave and come back. To work around it. But they didn't claim its familiarity. Someone I... Ah, that's right. Okay. While I'm here, I should probably clean out my inventory a little bit. Ramian, what do you have? Nothing really new. If you know who's who in the city, maybe you can tell me something about Count Arendelle. I'll tell you, why not? Everyone knows the story, you see, but you could say that I'm the one who found it, in a way. The Arendelles are a very wealthy and ancient line. They hail from the outlying areas of Canabris. That's where the Arendelle family seat is, along with their ancestral lands. In the past, if Mendev was ever feuding with Sarkoris, or some clan was there causing trouble, the Count and Countess Arendelle were the ones who would defend the border with their soldiers. Their main residence was called Heaven's Edge. It still stands to this day north of here, on the road toward Dresden. No one lives there now. Around 10 or so years ago, there was a grand celebration held at the estate. The mother and the guardian of the current count invited the great the Good to celebrate his birthday. The entire Arrende clan was there, as well as many other nobles. And then, without warning, the demons struck. Clearly, they couldn't ignore such a perfect opportunity to cut down so many of Mendev's great dynasties in one fell swoop. There was even a chance that the queen herself would make an appearance, for she was related to the count as well. Well, when no news came from the estate, a troop of inquisitors was sent to investigate. We forced open the gates and discovered a manor full of corpses. They all perished. The servants, the guards, the guests, including some of Iomede's chosen clerics and paladins. The demons had unleashed a magical plague, terrifying and strange, the likes of which hadn't been seen before or since. And among all this was the young Darren Arrende, the only survivor. The Count had a talent for divine magic since his youth, healing magic in particular, and that must be why he didn't die along with the rest. He couldn't explain how he survived the disease. I saw him that day when they brought him into the city, pale and barely conscious of his surroundings. So that's the story. Since then, Heaven's Edge has stood abandoned, sealed off to the outside world. People are still afraid to go near the place. Let's get the... Have I given... Oh, right, since Ember has mage armor, I didn't give her the bracers of armor. Sort of bulk selling. Oh man, that's actually a lot of even just junk items. I haven't been back here in a little while. Bardish, club with nails. Composite bows. Right, just a regular composite longbow. I wonder why those aren't stacking with that one. Master composite longbow. Regular dagger. Master longsword. It's not accidentally sell radiance, that would suck. Although selling it to the guy who made it would be ironic. Oh, I didn't realize that actually has no spell failure chance. Oh no, it does. I was looking at the wrong number. There's an arcane spell failure chance. Maybe that is decent on Woljif. Uh, like the one time it actually makes him fail a spell, it's gonna be like the worst. So it's not. I'm usually pretty careful about keeping characters out of harm's way to cast anyway. Plus one luck bonus, fire-based effects, nice. Armor. I don't remember what this actually does. It's just less move speed. Yeah, okay. I see a lot of scrolls of that spell and just like never feel the need to use them. Gotta remember I've got a whole bunch of scrolls of Mage Armor, so I don't, and Magic Missiles, so I don't really need to learn those from leveling up when I respec. Element. Reduce person. Does this reduce strength? I actually don't remember. It does. Might be a problem depending on what's on my belt if I want to use it. The XJC could be nice though. Yeah, with the +2 to dexterity and the +1 size bonus, that's 2 AC. That's nothing to sneeze at. I'll have to experiment with it at some point. I keep forgetting about it. Sickness. This is the one that the influence of what on these effects. That's right. Okay, yeah, it's the one that helps us saves. Disease, nausea, and sickness. I mean, I guess that's actually still pretty good against like stinking cloud and stuff. But I usually see that coming because it's like only dredges that cast it. So that I think it's remove disease that actually attempts to remove an existing one. It's like a higher level spell. Wait, what was that one? Oh, yeah. Oh, shield too. Okay. Faith. I don't remember how this works. +1 deflection bonus, Stacy. Still throwing around. Yeah, that's actually not bad. I kind of I've never really used it. I forgot it was a deflection bonus, Stacy. The resistance bonus I think is pretty uncommon too, so probably overlaps nicely. I don't remember if I. Okay, yeah, I had Wilter Flare in that. Gracelessness, Breakable Heart. Okay, that is actually good against fear. Oh, hey, I didn't realize I had a Wander Remove Disease. That's pretty fantastic. Alright. Let's see. Were there any items that I actually wanted from here? So, Actually, wouldn't mind getting a +1 heavy shield for Sela. Okay, yeah, she does have a normal one. Is this better than her current armor? No. Gotta sell that. See here. Ingredients is still just, yeah, cold iron masterwork. It's a cool weapon. It actually improves at certain parts of the game. And I love items like that in RPGs. Actually going to... You know, it should be fine. Okay.
That's easy.
Oh, you didn't have to come through the roof, dude.
What in the name of the Green Mother's going on in this crazy town?
Double brick.
Who's in charge here? You there in the armor? Or is it you, tavern keeper? Or maybe it's you, old-timer? Oh, you, I remember. You were in that ravaged fortress with all the books. You can explain all this to me.
You are a little bit out of time, my guy.
Well?
Let's try it. Ugh.
Right then. We've had our staring contest. Now, enough joking around.
Damn. Okay.
All right. First things first. If by some chance you don't already know, they call me Ulbrich. Ulbrich Olesk. Chief of the Olesk clan. The one that gave Barzog's orcs a drubbing. What, never heard of them either? I'll be damned. Is this an illusion or something? One minute I'm laying myself down for a nap in a glade one summer's day, and the next I'm waking up among ruins and flames and monsters running riot. And no one knows me. But you see, my name's famous across Sarkoris. Where in the blazes am I? What's going on here?
Oh. Yeah, you're, got bad news. Unfortunately, I've got to reload for the lore. You know how it is. Cool, I had an autosave when I stepped out there. It does give me another chance at the staring contest, though. we should save. I should have saved before coming back in here. Oh well.
What in the name of... Who's in charge here? You there? Well...
Hey. It's pretty fun so far.
Alright, first things first. If by some chance you don't already...
I've heard songs that tell of the glorious victory of an alliance of Sarkorian tribes over Unuka Shore, led by a chief called Barzog. But that was a long time ago, centuries in the past, before the demon invasion. Is it possible that this man does not know that Sarkoris has fallen?